If your Speedmaster tries to fight a rock, talk him out of it. Rock wins every time. Hey guys, I'm Max and welcome back to Hot Ones. So this story is going to make you cringe a little bit, but the other day I was out getting some shots of a couple of watches. I had my camera and two Speedmasters, and as I was getting out of my car, almost as if in slow motion, I saw my Speedy Reduced slip out of my hand and hit some rocks. And the sound that the watch made when it landed face first was... So when I picked it back up, it looked like this. Now, after I got over the initial shock of it, it was actually kind of interesting to see how the hesselite took the impact. You see, it sort of fractured, but didn't quite break apart. And this got me immediately thinking about why NASA would have chosen the hesselite Speedmaster on the Apollo missions. Because if this had been sapphire or a mineral crystal, I'm sure it would have shattered. Glass shards would have been everywhere, the movement would have had to be serviced. But in this case, the watch just needs a new crystal. So I'm going to take a stab at this at home. And if I'm successful, I'm also going to try to put just a vintage touch on my Speedy Reduced. So here's the watch with the broken crystal, a replacement from Omega. And during my research, I found this ghost bezel that someone was selling on eBay. I'm not sure how this was done, maybe with bleach. So first we get the bracelet off, and for the case back I use a blade that I taped off, wearing some heavy gloves in case I slipped, but it popped off pretty easily. To remove the crown, push down on this release button while pulling outwards. The movement is held in by two retaining clips. Here we remove them. And as easy as that, the movement comes out. Next, we work on the bezel. Wedge a poker chip between the case and the bezel and give it a hard tap. I learned this from another YouTube video and it worked like a charm. I use my crystal press to get the old crystal out. Getting the new one in was much more tricky. I think because my crystal press is cheap and imprecise, this process took me a good half an hour, but eventually I was able to work it in there without cracking it. Lastly, we reassemble the watch in reverse order, making sure at every step to keep dust from getting inside the case. Push the case back on. And lastly, we press the new bezel on there. I gotta tell you, that was pretty nerve-wracking for me. I mean, opening up a Seiko is one thing, but taking apart a Speedmaster was just a whole new level of anxiety. But I thought, you know what? It'd make for an exciting video for you guys. And if you have a moment, give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already, consider also subscribing to the channel. If not anything else, for more future crazy watch surgeries. Okay, you're probably all dying to see what the finished product looks like. Well, here she is, boys and girls, all fixed up and ready to show off her new digs. Looking like a completely different watch, I might add. This bezel has a real depth about it, and I've always been impressed by the comfort of the bracelet from the Reduced compared to that of its big brother. Now the watch has all the trimmings of a vintage Speedmaster. The aged tritium lume from earlier models of this watch have picked up a golden hue. The loom on the hands have also gained some character over the decades. And this, along with the grayish blue coming off of the bezel, makes what once was a monotone design now colorful and complex. Let's review the wonderful dimensions of the Speedy Reduced. Still one of my favorite recommendations for slimmer wrists. Now, some criticize this dial for being too busy or that the subdials are spaced too far apart. I personally don't even see these individual elements anymore and more view the watch as a whole. What I do know is that this new crystal is looking fresh off axis, giving that bubbly distortion that we all love so much. And every time I wear this watch, I'm reminded by how thin this case is, even with that modular movement offsetting the crown and the pushers. So despite all the flack that this watch gets, you can tell I keep coming back to it, because I've yet to find another mid-sized Speedmaster worth my time. And for those of you who find it too irreverent to be modifying a Speedmaster, I say don't take this hobby too seriously. Grow with your watch and build your own story. So needless to say, I'm really happy with the way the watch turned out. Now, I'm not going to go as far as to say that I'm glad that I dropped it on the ground, but at the same time, I wouldn't have done all this work to personalize it if I hadn't. So I guess the lesson here is that when something seemingly bad happens, stay positive and try to see it from a different perspective, because it can actually be a blessing in disguise. So thanks for watching. Until next time, stay positive.